Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to have you here as we dive into Module 3, the project lifecycle and the role of project controls. Today, we're going to explore the different phases of a project and see how project controls play a vital role in keeping everything on track. We'll look at how these controls are strategically implemented at each stage to help ensure the overall success of a project. So, let's get started and see how everything fits together to make projects successful from start to finish. Now, let's take a closer look at the project lifecycle, which is the backbone of successful project management. First, we have the initiation phase. This is where everything begins, defining what the project is all about at a high level. We identify the core problem we're trying to solve, conduct a feasibility study to see if the project is viable, set clear objectives to guide us, and pinpoint who the key stakeholders are. Think of this as laying the foundation for the entire project. Next comes the planning phase. Here, we develop a detailed roadmap. This involves defining the scope, that is, what exactly will be included and excluded, creating schedules, estimating budgets, planning resources, and assessing potential risks. This phase is crucial because it sets the stage for how smoothly the project will run. Then, we move into the execution phase. This is where the rubber meets the road. We put our plans into action by directing and managing the work, engaging with stakeholders to keep everyone aligned, and ensuring quality standards are met. It's about turning plans into tangible results. Following that, we have the monitoring and controlling phase. This is an ongoing process where we track progress, review performance, and make adjustments as needed. We compare actual performance against our baselines, analyze variances, and manage any changes to keep the project on track. Finally, we reach the closure phase. This is about wrapping things up properly, finalizing all activities, delivering the project outputs, obtaining formal sign-offs, and documenting lessons learned to improve future projects. Overall, understanding these phases helps us manage projects more effectively and ensures we deliver value at every stage of the project lifecycle. Now, let's take a closer look at the initiation phase, which is really the foundation of any successful project. First, we start with problem identification. This is where we clearly define what the project is aiming to solve or the opportunity it wants to seize. It's crucial to be precise here because a well-defined problem guides all our subsequent steps. Next, we move to the feasibility study. Think of this as our reality check. We assess whether the project is practical and achievable given our resources, constraints, and context. This step helps us avoid investing time and effort into ideas that may not be viable in the real world. Then, we establish the specific goals and targets for the project. Setting clear objectives gives us a roadmap and helps measure success down the line. It's about knowing exactly what we want to accomplish. Finally, identifying stakeholders is key. These are the people or groups who have an interest or influence over the project. Recognizing them early ensures we consider their needs and expectations from the outset. Altogether, this initiation phase sets the stage for everything that follows. It's about laying a solid foundation, defining the problem, assessing whether our solution makes sense, setting clear goals, and knowing who needs to be involved. When these elements are in place, the project is much more likely to move forward smoothly and successfully. Now, let's dive into the planning phase, which is essentially the foundation of a successful project. First up is scope definition. Here, we need to be very clear about what the project will deliver, what requirements must be met, and what criteria will be used to determine if we've succeeded. Clearly defining the scope helps prevent scope creep and keeps everyone on the same page. Next is scheduling. Developing a detailed project schedule involves mapping out all the tasks, understanding how they depend on each other, setting milestones to track progress, and identifying the critical path. That is, the sequence of tasks that determines the project's overall duration. A well-thought-out schedule keeps us on track and helps us anticipate potential delays. Then we have budgeting. This step involves preparing a comprehensive budget that covers all costs, labor, materials, equipment, and other resources. Having a solid budget allows us to manage expenses effectively and ensures we have the financial resources needed to complete the project. Resource planning is also crucial. We need to identify what human skills, equipment, and materials are required, and then allocate these resources efficiently. Proper resource planning ensures that we have the right people and tools in the right place at the right time, preventing bottlenecks. Finally, risk management. We conduct a thorough assessment to identify potential risks that could impact the project. Once we know what those risks are, we develop strategies to mitigate, transfer, or avoid them altogether. Managing risks proactively helps us stay prepared for uncertainties and keeps the project moving smoothly. All of these steps in the planning phase are interconnected and vital. They set the stage for executing the project effectively and achieving our overall goals. Now, let's take a closer look at the execution phase, which is really the heart of the project. This is where we put our plans into action by executing the scheduled activities and making sure everything runs smoothly. It involves actively managing and coordinating the project team to ensure that tasks are completed on time and according to our plan. Equally important is stakeholder engagement. Throughout this phase, maintaining open communication and managing expectations is key. We want to keep everyone aligned and informed so that there are no surprises along the way. Another critical aspect is quality assurance. We implement control measures like inspections and reviews to verify that our deliverables meet the specified requirements. This helps us catch issues early and maintain the high standards we've set. Overall, the execution phase is where all the planning and preparation come together. It's about making sure the work gets done effectively, stakeholders stay engaged, and quality is built into every step. When these elements come together, the project is on the path to a successful delivery. Now, let's take a closer look at the monitoring and controlling phase of our project. This is where we really keep our finger on the pulse to ensure everything stays on track. First, we focus on tracking project performance by measuring and monitoring our progress against the baselines we've established for scope, schedule, and cost. This helps us see how we're doing in real time. Next, we analyze any variances, meaning if there are deviations from our plan, we dig into them to identify root causes and understand their impact. This way, we can address issues before they escalate. Managing changes is also crucial. We handle any requested adjustments through a formal change control process, carefully evaluating their impact and getting approval before moving forward. We also continuously manage risks and issues by keeping a close eye on our risk register, identifying new risks as they emerge, and implementing mitigation strategies to reduce their potential effects. Lastly, transparency is key. We generate regular performance reports for stakeholders, clearly communicating the project status, forecasts, and any recommendations. All of these activities are interconnected. They help us stay aligned with our goals and ensure successful project delivery. This phase is about maintaining control, adapting when needed, and keeping everyone informed. Now, let's talk about the closure phase. This is really the final stretch of the project, where we focus on making sure everything is wrapped up properly. First, we finalize the deliverables. That means confirming that all the work we've agreed upon has been completed and meets the required standards. It's important to double-check these so nothing is left unfinished or below expectations. Next, we move on to documenting lessons learned. This is a crucial step, capturing the insights and experiences we've gained along the way. By doing this, we create a valuable knowledge base that can inform and improve future projects. Overall, the closure phase is about ensuring everything is complete, signed off by stakeholders, and that we learn from our journey. It's the final opportunity to close the loop and set a strong foundation for the next endeavor. Now, let's take a closer look at the PDCA cycle, which is central to effective project control. The first step is plan. This is where we establish our objectives, define the processes we'll follow, and set the baselines or benchmarks for measuring success. It's about laying a solid foundation so everyone on the team knows what we're aiming for and how we plan to get there. Next comes do. Here, we execute the plan we've developed. This involves implementing the processes and controls we've set up during the planning phase. It's where action happens, and it's crucial to stay disciplined to ensure we follow the plan closely. Then we move to check. This step involves monitoring and measuring the project's performance against our predefined baselines. Think of it as taking a snapshot to see how things are progressing. Are we on track? Are there any deviations? This step helps us gather the data needed to assess our progress. Finally, act is where we review what we've learned from monitoring. If there are deviations or issues, we take corrective actions to bring the project back on course. Or, if we've identified opportunities for improvement, we implement changes to enhance our processes. Connecting this cycle to the overall theme, it's about creating a continuous loop of planning, executing, monitoring, and improving, ensuring our project stays aligned with its goals and adapts effectively to any challenges along the way. Now, let's explore the interconnected relationship between planning, execution, and control in project management. These elements are not isolated. Rather, they form a continuous cycle that keeps a project on track. Planning is where it all begins. It sets the direction by defining the project's scope, schedule, and budget, basically, the roadmap for success. It also establishes the control processes that will be used to monitor progress. Once planning is in place, execution takes over. This is where the actual work happens, carrying out the activities we've outlined. But here, the key part, control comes into play during execution. It provides real-time data on how things are going, whether we're on schedule, within budget, or if issues are cropping up. And this is where the feedback loop becomes crucial. The insights gained from control activities can inform us about what's working and what's not. We can then refine our future planning based on this information, creating a cycle of continuous improvement. This interconnected process ensures that we're not just blindly following a plan, but actively adapting and steering the project toward success, aligning perfectly with the overall theme of effective project management. Now, let's take a closer look at the project lifecycle and how controls are integrated throughout it. The project lifecycle is essentially a structured framework that guides us from that initial idea or concept all the way through to final completion. It helps ensure that every phase is clearly defined and that nothing gets overlooked. There are several key phases in this lifecycle. We start with initiation, where we define the project's purpose and feasibility. Then move into planning, where we develop detailed roadmaps, schedules, and resource allocations. Next is execution, where the actual work happens and tasks are carried out according to our plan. Following that, we have monitoring and controlling, which is all about tracking progress, managing risks, and making adjustments as needed to stay on track. And finally, there's closure, where we complete all activities, deliver the final product, and conduct post-project evaluations. What's important to recognize here is that these phases are interconnected and iterative, helping us maintain control and adapt as the project evolves. Integrating controls into each phase ensures we can anticipate issues early, manage risks proactively, and keep the project aligned with its goals. This structured approach is essential for successful project delivery, and it ties back to our overall theme of effective project management, using a clear framework to guide us from start to finish with confidence. Now, as we wrap up, I want to highlight some key takeaways. First, the project lifecycle provides a solid framework for managing a project from start to finish. It helps us organize and guide the entire process, ensuring nothing gets overlooked. Next, it's important to understand that planning, execution, and control are closely connected, yet distinct phases. Planning sets the foundation, execution is where the work happens, and control keeps everything on track. Control is especially critical because it guides the execution based on our detailed plans. Finally, the PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, act, is at the heart of continuous improvement. It encourages us to constantly monitor our progress, evaluate results, and make adjustments as needed. This cycle keeps projects flexible and responsive, leading to better outcomes. Overall, understanding the project lifecycle and integrating these core principles, planning, execution, control, and continuous improvement, are essential for project success. When we apply these concepts effectively, we can deliver projects on time, within budget, and meet the quality standards we aim for.